Hi everybody, I wanted to talk to you briefly about the social remix assignment so that you have a clearer understanding of what that assignment entails and what the trajectory of our weeks that we're working on it are. So the assignment I've moved to closer to when it's due. So this is the assignment here, the assignment link, and you go to the Google document. And here it describes the assignment fully. So here's the thing to keep in mind. This is a graded assignment. That means you will get a grade. It's not a completion grade. It's you actually need to produce quality work in order to earn an A kind of grade. It isn't a you earn 10 points for doing it. So just keep that in mind. It's 20% of your course grade. So it's our first really truly graded assignment. And you get two choices for this assignment. The first choice, you can do a literacy case study. So with this, you choose a literacy practice that you do every day or very frequently in your personal or professional life, depending. So a literacy practice is a way of using literacy, and in this case, I mean more than print literacy. So media literacy, place-based literacy, digital literacy, and print literacy. So keep in mind, it's not print literacy exclusively. And I give you some examples here, like using As You Learn to manage course content, or reading books to your children, watching television, using Netflix or Hulu, not cable. What is going on with that kind of practice? So it's what do you do, how do you do it, and what, more importantly, how is it significant? It's not enough just to say, oh, well, I watch TV with Hulu and that's it. And like, what does that mean socially for all of us? What does that mean for literacy? What does that mean for what is going on with you as a person who consumes things? What is this? What's going on here? So it's really exploring something that you do in your own personal life in depth, a literacy practice that you do in depth, and applying the course readings to that. So in this particular case study, if you choose this, you'll write a 7 to 10 page paper writing about the literacy practice and applying the course readings to it, to make an argument about how this is a literacy practice. What does it mean? What is the point of it? What is it that makes this important and valuable as a literacy practice? That's the idea. So with this one, you're going to write a paper and you're going to cite and use at least 3 course readings. You may choose to do outside scholarly articles or books. They must be scholarly. Now, if you have a question about that, let me know. But they have to be scholarly, not just a blog post or something from Popular Press, something scholarly. And you're going to cite and reference using APA. And then you're going to, start out talking about your literacy practice in 1 to 2 pages, really detailed, very specific, lots of development in this section, but it's not very long, it's brief, 1 to 2 pages. And then the rest of your paper is an argument about what makes that literacy practice worth talking about. What does it tell you about literacy? What does it tell you about you as a person? What does it tell us as a field about what literacy means? So that's what you do there. And then you're going to create a small piece of media using the tools that are listed below in this assignment. It must be one of those tools. But you're going to create a small piece of media, like 1 collage, 1 image, 1 slideshow of two different pages, whatever. So both of those things. So you're going to have a larger written part and a smaller media part. You're going to put that in a Google document. Anyone with link can edit. You're going to post it to As You Learn to turn it in. So that's the literacy case study. Or you can do a literacy autobiography. And this is a primarily media with some written work assignment. So with this, you're going to choose moments, literacy moments throughout your life that were significant. So you can choose your whole life, or you can choose a part of your life, like teenage years. I know, for instance, I did a lot of reading and a lot of consuming of media when I was a teenager and early adult. So that would be a great time period for me to choose. But you're going to create a timeline that uses images and text or images and video, multiple ways of expressing it, not just written, to show different moments. So, and each moment is going to have an example, an artifact, an image, something that will show it as a significant moment, and you'll talk about its significance. So you're going to represent everything, every bit of those moments with something. Usually an image, probably an image or a video, something like that, for each moment that you choose that shows a significant time in your life. Then you're going to create a piece of media. You're going to create a piece of media using one of the ones that are listed in the course, and you're going to develop it thoroughly. So you're going to show all of your moments one by one and include different kinds of elements. And also remember to include different kinds of literacy. It's not just print literacy. It's print, digital, place-based, whatever. Whatever the literacies are, don't just do print, but do multiple. Represent literacies as we understand it in this class. Then you're going to do a 3 to 5 page paper. It's a shorter paper that ties it all together. What does it mean that you have all of these literacy moments? And what does it mean in terms of the course readings? What does this tell us about literacy by looking at your literacy autobiography? Then you're going to include all of that in cite and reference using the course readings. Cite and reference using APA. All of your written text. You're not going to probably do that as much in your media, but you definitely need to cite all of your images for your media, all of your videos for your media. I'm going to actually add this to the assignment. I need to remind you to do that. Everything you use to create your media that's not yours needs to be cited, so be sure to do that as well. And then you're going to put it all together in a document. Anyone with link can edit, and you're going to post that to turn in your assignment. And then here's the criteria. So the first one talks about the literacy case study. The second talks about the literacy autobiography. Okay, and in terms of literacy autobiography, you are the author. It's your life that you're talking about here. Okay, so really keep in mind, for the literacy case study, it's detailed and thorough discussion of the practice. It's interesting, purposeful argument. You're going to include quotations. You're going to explain everything. You're going to tie it all together. You're going to have media. Then for the literacy autobiography, you're going to cover a span of time. You're going to have a range of literacies. You're going to show significant moments through text, video, sound, at least 3 of the 4 of those. You're going to use the affordances of your tool. You're going to use from the approved list and use the affordances of it. And you're going to refer back in the written work to 3 course readings or viewings, cited and referenced correctly. And of course, all of the writing and all of the media is free of technical problems or mechanics, grammar, that kind of stuff. So this is the assignment. How it's going to happen is this. So in the course, we're just going to work on it for the next few weeks. What you're going to do is you're going to do a check-in. This is optional but highly encouraged. I really do encourage you to do this check-in where you just put your name and choose what you're doing. So literacy case study, write a paragraph about your literacy practice. And then I'm going to look at it because I want to make sure that you're on the right track before you waste your time doing an entire draft that isn't about a practice or isn't talking about literacy the way we understand it in this class or whatever the case may be. So a paragraph describing your literacy practice, or for your literacy autobiography, 3 literacy moments, each one with a specific example. And I would do a range because you have to do a range, right? Not just print. So give a range and give very specific examples there to show that you're on the right track. That's essentially all the check-in will do. So we'll do that this week. Will be a check-in. Then you will talk about it in your next discussion group. You'll have a draft. And in your discussion group, you need to not only have a draft, you need to have specific questions you have about that draft. And you're going to get feedback from each other there in your discussion group. And then the first week of November, we're going to have an open lab times. Open labs are just times for you to come in and ask me specific questions. This is the only way you get feedback for your drafts. So they're too complicated for me to give you feedback in email or even on Kaizena. We need to talk about it. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do open labs. And so just come to one of these times. You can choose these choices. You can come to multiple ones, but keep in mind I can only do 14 people at a time, and that's still a lot. So, but you can. So come to one of these times, bring your draft, bring very specific questions. I'm not just going to look at it. That's not very productive for you to get good feedback. Bring in your questions, and I'm happy to help you to talk about your drafts before they're due. So this is 2 weeks before the deadline, and then the very last week that your project is due, your assignment, will also be a work time. It's not open yet, but it will be work time for you to do your projects and to do revisions based on what you find out from your discussion group and what you find out from Open Labs, if you decide to get feedback in that way. Keep in mind, that's how you get feedback, is coming to Open Labs. So that's important to keep in mind. But this is generally what the assignment is. We're going to do a check-in. We're going to do Open Labs. You're going to get feedback. So you're going to get feedback in multiple different ways to help you to do this assignment. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm excited to see what you all come up with for your literacy work here.